Welcome along. We are back in the Ladbrokes Social Club after a weekend in which all of the top flight clubs returned to action, bringing the curtain down on the winter break. We're going to be talking about all those games, best of the social media reaction. Plus, we've got a FaceTime caller as well who had a remarkable performance for his team on Saturday. More on that to come. But Danny Caw's back with us.
Hello. Thanks.
Just before we go on, I know your mum's often not happy with you in this show, your performance. She's managed to get you moved seat.
Yep.
What's she moaning about this week?
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, she said I look too fat sitting there, so I now sit here. She's now unhappy with my posture, so I'll be trying to put that right this week.
So you're okay with your weight now?
Sitting up straight.
Just the posture?
She's probably still not happy with that, but
you got a courser on, Dan?
We need to just Spanx on her.
Oh, as you can see, Spanx. Alan Stubbs is here, as you can see. And Alex Ray as well.
Thank you.
This could be
back after a winter training schedule in Portugal, Dazzler.
Was that a round of applause?
It was brutal.
Was
Was it one?
I've got a sailor in the place and all, look up.
Sail away. You've been out running again?
Yes, yeah, 9 miles yesterday out for this marathon. It's boring, but
Well, explain all.
Yeah.
Here's your tweet. What's happening?
Yeah,
what are you running
absolutely.
for?
The Erskine Trust, the veterans, and I was fortunate enough to go up to the hospice about 2 weeks ago now, and they do a terrific job. And when you meet guys like that, you know, it just shows you they're giving a lot for the country, and it's a small price to pay. And I'm looking forward to it.
Good on you for doing it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, very much so.
Training going well?
Listen,
what are you up to, distance-wise?
9 miles I'm up to at the moment, so I'll break through the 10-mile barrier this week, and I'm actually finding it easy enough to do, but it's just the monotony of just kind of running along the street. So anyway, we'll get there.
You'll get there.
I should say that I keep a close eye on all things social media.
You do, yeah.
And I was surprised to see you pop up here,
Right,
Alan
we're rolling.
McCoist.
Live from Ibrox Stadium.
There was a photo.
Nearly
live. I'm doing a new hit. Is this social media?
You've got norovirus, get away.
Apart from his hip, we're nearly rolling. Back home.
It's like
Truthfully, I thought it was a photo. He said, come on, we'll pose round here. I'm staring at the camera like a plum.
It's like he's never seen a photo before. He's like leaning back and all that, you know. But
He is new to it.
He is new
and
to
he
it.
did have norovirus. He did the games anyway. Don't know how I've not got
Professional.
it yet. Yeah, well,
Ish.
not for the rest of us.
It's good to see him embracing.
He's enjoying
social media.
Instagram, isn't he?
He's
loving
liking
it.
it.
Are you on now?
I'm on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about joining.
He's all over it.
Just need somebody to show me how to go about it. Now I'm on it.
Yeah. My account's still private on Instagram for now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I need to open
Reserving that for the family. I'll need to take everything off then. Start again.
Have two
Yeah,
accounts.
maybe that's what I should do. You're good at this stuff.
No, it's
You
only
should,
because I'm getting
you should be on a show that's all about social media.
Should say actually, Darryl, before we, whilst we're talking about social media, Laura last week.
Oh yeah.
Gave her a shout out, Laura. Your wish is our command. She's delighted. And just on Alex, we obviously look at the YouTube comments, a lot of the feedback, and some of the feedback we've got brilliant. Thanks to everyone that's written in.
Good to hear.
Yeah, this one for you, Alex. Dog's opinion on YouTube. Lewis Ferguson's nowhere near good enough for Rangers, Alex. Just the weird old school thought that Alex has.
Anyone that doesn't know, last week you were on FaceTime. You said you thought Rangers should maybe look at signing Lewis Ferguson.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's still young, and I think there's a lot of development in him. I look at some of the guys like Morelos, and you look at what do you call it, Barisic. Good progression.
Yeah.
Kamara's another. So when you look at these guys, but with the greatest respect to this character on social media, until he mentions who he is, he's a non-entity.
See, you don't like that, do you? You like proper names, real people,
I want
not dog's
accountability.
opinion.
Yeah, exactly, accountability. Who are you?
Well, it is a dog's opinion. That's what it is.
Yeah. I thought
it was
That's
a
what
good
you've
show.
got.
Did you think it was a good
I thought it was a good
Well,
show.
there you go, that's it. Kicked into
There you
touch.
Dog's opinion, we all agree. He's absolutely bang on. Should we move on to the weekend games then? The cup action started Friday night. Rangers, Alex, you were there, and I think a lot of the fans off the back of the game, Daniel, were talking about the youngster that played it right back, Nathan Patterson.
There's a big reaction on social media, Darryl. Not just to Patterson, but him in particular. This one from Blue Viper, into the next round. Gave our players a good workout against stubborn opposition. Also highlighted players like Ojo, Barker and Halliday will never get near the first team when it matters.
Yeah.
Young Patterson looks promising. On to league business now.
Just before we go on to the other tweets you've got on Patterson, I mean, is that a fair comment? Because Stephen Gerrard after the game said he was bored, and the fact that the players he gave a chance and opportunity to, most of them didn't perform.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think the problem you have is they're coming back. Some of these guys haven't played for months.
Yeah.
And then you come into a game having, come
That's
back
why I was
from a
asking,
win.
do you think it's fair, or do you need to cut them some slack?
Listen, I think if you're going to do yourself some justice and you're going to kind of start chapping on the manager's door, now the starting 11 at Rangers more or less picks itself for me.
Yeah.
These guys will be coming sparingly, so you know what it's like now. You're trying to find your feet coming into a game, but I don't think there was any standouts other than young Patterson. I think he was the bright spark, but in terms of putting a young boy into a game where you're going to dominate possession 80%, then all of a sudden it's a great platform.
Yeah, because you get to attack.
You're constantly
all
on
the
the
time.
ball. You don't get any questions defensively. The big question will be is whether he features in
That was
Wednesday.
exactly the question I was going to ask
Well,
you.
it's just as well I
Because
know what we're doing
we're
here.
on the same page here. Tavernier obviously is going to be out
Yeah.
for at least, it sounds like, a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
So there's options.
Yeah,
Flanagan, Bolster.
I think Flanagan would probably be the one that you could possibly go to. But I think the young boy done brilliant. You know, I think
But
particularly
even
in the first
St
half.
Mirren at Ibrox, obviously it's going to be a tougher game than they
Yeah,
just had, but
without
it's
doubt.
still a game you'd expect them to do a lot of attacking in.
Yeah,
So you would stick with the youngster.
I think he done very well. I think, in particular in the first half, some of his deliveries were excellent
Yeah.
and quite intelligent. It wasn't just balls thrown in, you know, put across the face. And you know, obviously the second half it kind of petered out a little bit. The game kind of lost its whole kind of fluency. So, but I thought he'd done himself justice. And you know, I've been critical of the Rangers youth for the last couple of years about getting guys in.
Yeah.
I think he done them proud at the weekend.
Alex kind of touched on it there, but Patterson was trending nationwide in Scotland the other night. Michael Beale, Rangers coach, paid tribute to him. Nathan Patterson and Kai Kennedy on the Rangers debut. A special moment for both boys and families. Fantastic achievement. And I think the famous kind of sums this up. Freezing and frustrating night. I think we can see what SG means now by players playing themselves further away from the first team. Stand up, number 63, Nathan Patterson, man in the match, young man.
Good to see a young man get a chance who's developed, come right through the academy.
And I think the one thing in his favour is that he's a similar style to Tavernier.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Flanagan's a more experienced, he won't get forward as much, he's safe. So I think, you know, he'll have a good chance because he gives that what Flanagan doesn't give. You know, that bombing up and down the wing is quality on crosses. So
Maybe Flanagan's more suited then to the following game, which is Tynecastle at the weekend.
Yeah, you know, I think it's, if you're going to throw him in, no disrespect,
Put him at
but
Ibrox.
Wednesday at home at Ibrox is the one to put him in.
Do you know the interesting thing, having covered the game, Darrow, at the weekend? The importance of Barisic and Tavernier to the way Rangers play.
Yeah.
You know, it was crying out because, you know, if you don't get width on the left and the right hand side, you know, the whole kind of dynamic, it becomes ponderous. And so, big players.
I think Stephen's got to be a bit careful because he's got his 11 and his 11 is strong.
Yeah.
But when you're criticising then the rest, you know, because you're going to need these players come towards the end of the season. And if you keep saying to them, they're not doing themselves any favours, okay, yeah, he may be doing it as a reason to say, listen, you've got to give me more. But if he's given them opportunities and they're not taking it.
But you know the interesting thing about all these guys, and this was the key thing, is Rangers will have 9 or 10 players that are strong, the strongest 11, and one of these guys will come in. So it's not like the other night when there's 6 or 7 changes and you know it's like half a team. So you have to put it in context as well.
Yeah. On to Celtic, obviously beat Partick Thistle on the Saturday. What was Twitter saying and social media saying to that game?
Well, Lee Griffiths obviously made a big splash on social media himself over the weekend. And again, Lee Griffiths was trending on Saturday night, obviously got his goal, made some comments after the game. My time at Celtic is far from finished.
Familiar image. Is that the one he posted just before he came off social media last week? Is that right? Then he rejoined?
And then he's back on Twitter now, I believe. But that was the celebration, obviously, the other night. I think it's
got everyone talking.
It definitely did. I think a lot of Celtic fans, Olivia here, so proud of this guy. He looked sharp and 100% focused. I think last night could have been the rebirth of his Celtic career. And I like this one as well. Lee Griffiths come back better than Conor McGregor's. I'm not sure about that
lasted
one.
longer.
I tell you, he needed to come in and do well because when they've just signed a new striker, Patrick Lamala, it often happens.
I think
other people step up.
First and foremost, it's great to see Lee back on the pitch. You know, with the troubles that he's had and he's gone through off the pitch, it's great to see him on the pitch. Now, I think hopefully we can start judging him from his performances now and what he does there now, because he has had a tough,
18 months
tough 18 months. You know, so it's great that we're talking about Lee, you know, what he's doing on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, if he does get back to anywhere near the form that he can do, Celtic have got a bonus.
What would help him is if Celtic continue to play 2 strikers. I know you had some tweets on that as well.
Yeah.
But that's a system that's going to allow more game time for Griffiths, Klamala and others.
He's a great option because Neil's probably at some point probably thought Lee was gone. You know, I think from that point of view.
Yeah.
And now that he's got him, took him to Dubai. He's had a real good fitness camp there. He's been working his way, you know. And I think from Lee's point of view and all, I think he's took upon all the negativity as I've got a point to prove here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a good thing, because I think that could focus Lee, you know, and really get him back to hopefully the Lee Griffiths that we know, not just for Celtic but for Scotland and all.
Yeah, definitely.
The two strikers was a big talking point on social media, Darryl. Cornered here, summing up 3 holding midfielders last night with 2 up top was the way to go. Griff and Rogic looked sharp as bleep.
It certainly helps, if you think, to get McGregor, Brown and Cham into the team, but then when Christie's back and the wide players, Forrest and Elyounoussi come back, it might be harder to accommodate them all.
I don't think they'll play two strikers up top. I think that was a one-off at the weekend for me.
Do you think so?
Well, yeah, I do, and I'll tell you my reason why is because they lack width. They lack width. You know, you watch it, it's very ponderous at times. They've got overloads in the middle, but they don't have natural width. As soon as Elyounoussi comes back and James Forrest, back to square one.
Okay. Tom Rogic was another guy, Darryl, who certainly created a lot of debate on social media. Shamrock boy here. I know it was only Partick Thistle, but I thought big Tom Rogic looked hungry. His footwork was sublime. Let's hope he remains injury-free and back to his best. And this one, Celtic Clan, reasonably big Twitter account. A fit Rogic is like £10 million new signing, onward to 10 in a row.
Yeah, and obviously Christie out at the moment for a while as well, suspended and injured. He's going to have his chance. And what about the left back? Greg Taylor got his start. Was it mixed in terms of response? I thought he did okay, but on social media
I was a bit like you. I thought he did okay, but social media it was definitely very mixed. Aidan here, Twitter would be a meltdown if Bolly retained the ball as badly as Greg Taylor. But just to kind of sum it up, Martin struggling to see the argument for Bolly still being the number 1 left back. Greg Taylor's miles ahead of him as a footballer.
Where do you stand in this? Because obviously Hayes got his opportunity. It looked like for a while he was the starter.
Yeah.
And then Bolingoli had a bit of an indifferent game against Rangers, and all of a sudden Greg Taylor's in. Who's going to be the left back going forward?
I don't think there's a standout in terms of there's a definite number 1. I think it's up for grabs, you know, that position.
Yeah.
I think it's whoever gets the opportunities and takes that opportunity, because I don't think there's an awful lot between both of them if they're both on form. I think that, you know, there's not a standout. You know, whereas you know you've got Barisic at Rangers, who's the standout left back there, and you've got, you know, there's not a standout for me.
Briefly for you on this.
Yeah, I think Bolingoli's probably just got the nod because he's played more games there. Yeah, Greg Taylor's done fine for me. I think there's bigger issues. If you take Partick Thistle game at centre half for Celtic, I thought the two of them were very ropey at the weekend, Julian, and then when Simunovic came on, I thought he looked a wee bit shaky. Yeah.
Ayer's going to be back, of course, for the midweek game. On to Hearts, big win for them. Look, I know it was Airdrie, I know it was a cup game. They just needed some morale boosting performances from certain players, and youngsters were in the team and others, and they were getting coverage, weren't they?
It was a massive win, Darryl. I mean, 2 league wins all season, I'm sure, in the Ladbrokes Premiership. Mark here kind of summed it up quite well, I think. Job very well done by Hearts today. Easily could have been a slip up, but win was emphatic thanks to an excellent second half. Sean Clare, Ewan Henderson and Andy Irving were star performers. Baby steps, it was Airdrie. Same if not better needed in the next few weeks.
A lot on Ewan Henderson as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Ewan Henderson, he obviously got himself a goal and definitely was a standout amongst the Hearts fans. Lots of positives today, but my favourite was seeing the youngsters playing with freedom. Ewan Henderson, a real threat and deserved his goal. And the other guy as well was Sean Clare, Darryl, just very quickly.
Seems to have come good.
Thriving at right back, and obviously scored a really good volley at the weekend as well.
Wasn't it?
Brilliant goal. Gareth here, Sean Clare is like a new player under Stendhal. Amazing what actually being coached can do.
We should get carried away, Alex.
This is the thing, absolutely. Yep. I like the fact that he threw in a couple of youngsters at the weekend. When I seen it prior to kick-off, Henderson, Irving, and then obviously Sean Clare.
Moore as well.
Moore as well. So when I initially saw it, I looked at the team. It was strong at the back. The back line was strong. The 2 strikers were strong, and the middle part was a young team. So the balance looked okay. I think the way they went about their business demolished Airdrie. However, what a game they've got on Wednesday night against Ross County.
Massive game, we'll come back to that. What's this one say?
Yeah, no, just to kind of sum it up, this is from Aquapam. Well done, Hearts, only Airdrie, and we're nowhere near the finished article, but much improved. There's no signs of Levine left in a performance like today. Particularly pleased for Sean Clare, who's had a new lease of life since Levine left. Delighted for him.
They're not missing Levine still, are they?
No, I think Suter's a big plus and all.
Massive.
Coming back, you know, he's a big part of that. I was really impressed by him, you know, over the last couple of years, the way he's developed. And it'd be interesting to see how him and Halke form of partnership.
I also think social media, just quickly, Naismith as well, when he plays.
Captain and got his goal.
It's huge.
I need him to stay fit.
Totally
On to Hibs. Before a ball was kicked this weekend, a lot of excitement from their fans.
There was a lot of excitement, and I tell you what, if I ever go missing, Darryl, I would like Saul Goodman here to try and hunt me down.
Talk me through this.
I don't know if you guys have seen this. So this was, I'll just quickly go through it. He posted this on social media regarding Omiyonga's Instagram story. I'm not wanting to be a creepy guy here, but looking at the photo, he's on a Ryanair plane flying over the Swiss Alps. A Ryanair plane took off from Milan at 6 AM our time and landed at Edinburgh at 8:10. According to Instagram, he added to the photo his story approximately 5 hours ago. Now, assuming he took the photo and added to his story while in the air, it would not actually upload until the plane landed and he received a 4G signal. Now, if the plane landed at about 8 AM, that is 5 hours ago. Therefore, with my detective hat on, I can 100% confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that Omiyonga was on a plane from Milan to Edinburgh today. To add further, you can see the reflection in the sun, the wingtip of the plane. The sun is rising on the opposite side of the plane to him. Ergo, the plane is flying north over the Swiss Alps and not south.
And you have to say, he's absolutely nailed it.
And he was spot on, and the Hibs Twitter account gave him his props.
This character needs to get out, doesn't it? So,
to sum this all up, Stefan Omiyonga is back at Hibs, and they're very happy, aren't they, Alan?
Yeah, they are. He really created an impression when he was there, and a lot of them were disappointed when he didn't, come back. But I think that guy needs a job as a private investigator, doesn't he?
He'd be no good, by the way, if you're out till 3 in the morning and you're trying to say, where were you? Well, I don't remember between 1 and 3.
God help us, missus.
That's what I'm saying. Denial is the better option sometimes. And obviously, a few more posts on this.
Hibs fans absolutely buzzing with this news, Darryl. Blair Stewart kind of summed it up well. Celebrated Omiyonga's announcement last night like it was a win over Hearts. And this one here, if my iPad. LK, Omiyonga is back, baby.
They did draw in the cup though against Dundee United. Of all the players, I think, with social media coverage in that game, Martin Boyle again is standing out, scored another good goal.
Obviously, Ladbrokes Premiership Player of the Month as well, Dan.
Yeah. I know you love him.
Yeah, listen, Boyle, he's got a lot of quality to him. His pace is ridiculously good. He's so quick. He's a defender's nightmare because of his pace. And he's converting that into goals now. It's just really good to see him back. He's had a really tough time.
It was a great assist as well. The way
it was.
It was brilliant. Yeah.
A standout. Other side of it, Lawrence Shanklin, another goal for Dundee United. It's all over the papers. There's a link with Celtic now.
So this caught social media's attention yesterday with Tosh McKinley, who's a Celtic scout, being in the crowd.
Maybe he was just taking in a game.
Exactly, or who knows, might have been watching someone else. But it got Celtic fans talking. David here, Tosh McKinley spotted Tannadice yet again. Can just see we're going to sign Shanklin now this window.
Can you see it?
I can't see Dundee United selling him for any amount of money.
Never mind that. Would Celtic need him or want him?
Well, I don't think at this present time, when you consider the options that they've actually got, because you've obviously got Edward, you've got Griffiths, you've got the new signing, and then you've also got Bile, so too many for me.
I think Colin Shonery here, which is a good name, sums it up. Lawrence Shanklin has improved considerably, but could he take Eddie's place in Europe? Eddie's our benchmark. I think he's been quite kind there. I think
the thing is that you got Tosh there at the weekend, and then Hammonds was there the week before, so they're obviously watching him.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. If I was Neil loved Martin Boyle.
That's the one I was going to ask you about. Yeah. Maybe he was there watching Martin Boyle. And at the moment, we've already said they lack wide players now.
Exactly, and I think it
just threw a grenade right in there.
Have you just told us something?
No,
Is that a little exclusive?
I haven't, but
No, you have.
Neil
no, you've done it now.
Well, it's out there anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. But Neil had a real fondness for Boyley when he was there. He used to, talk him up all the time.
And just to back Alan up, there was a bit of speculation on social media that if it wasn't Shankland, maybe it was Boyle.
Yeah, I did wonder that myself. Look, there's a couple of other teams I still want to cover, but I want to do a FaceTime call in a second. So I wanted you to call up a few tweets if you have them on Chris Burke. Because did you see his performance at the weekend? 6 assists in one match.
Absolutely
remarkable. It's got to be some sort of record, isn't it?
No, it is. There's no two ways about it. And he said that he wanted an assist bonus.
Which should have been on one, eh?
Fair play.
You get his agent on the phone, never mind him.
36 years old, as these tweets are telling us.
Rangers Spurs there, 1-6-0 and 6 assists. Not bad, to be fair, for a 36-year-old. And this one from Jordan. Chris Burke is just different gravy. Never known a player to get 6 assists in a match and still not get man of the match. However, congratulations to Finlay. 2 goals in his return from injury. He really is like a new signing. Right. You win 6-0, your centre half gets man of the match.
I know, what is that all about?
That's harsh.
Got to be an inquiry.
I have to say that I think Finlay being back is a massive boost. Also because he's obviously an international good player.
Yeah.
So no, fair play to him.
You'd like to speak to Chris Burke about that tweet, wouldn't you? Wouldn't it be great if we had him on the social club? And here we are. How are you? Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. How are we?
We're all very well. Look, there's everybody in the club this week,
right.
as you can see. Now, we have just had a tweet up on the screen saying that you get 6 assists at the weekend, and yet Stuart Finlay got man of the match. Explain, please.
I really don't know who votes for these, honestly. Do you know what? It's so funny you said that, because they went over the tannoid in the game saying man of the match is Stuart Finlay, and I'm just jogging over to take the corner for my 5th assist, and I was thinking about turning to the fans and looking at them and to say, who votes for these?
I know. Lower league opposition at home, you get that number of goals and a defender, Curtis man of the match, you just can't win them. Look, I know it's not league football at the moment, but it was an important victory, that, wasn't it? Given the way things had gone before the turn of the year, just to get a bit of a morale boosting victory with that number of goals as well. Would you agree?
Oh, I totally agree. It just brings belief back into the squad. I think we worked ever so hard over the winter break there, double sessions, and I think it reaped the rewards in the game in Saturday. Obviously lower league opposition, but you have to give them the respect, and they're still sticky ties. You know that. You guys know yourself, sitting in the sofa, what it's like. It can be difficult at times. Getting early goal was great for us, but we were ruthless, and if anybody went to the game, we also created chances from open play as well. So we were delighted with it. We did need that, because obviously we had a sticky patch, as you said, but difficult getting goals into the back of the net, but we did that on Saturday.
I know you don't have an assist bonus. I think you've already made that point. Have you ever known anything like that?
Never. It just, everything that left my foot just seemed to arrive in the right space. But if I'm honest, the defenders done ever so well, and the people that scored, they still had to do a bit of work to get it in the back of the net. So, as the cliche says, it's not about me, it's about the team.
Oh, come on. You can say what you want in here. Honestly, you can tell us what you want, what you really feel. I mean, they were on a plate, weren't they? It's also good that you got a couple of new faces in as well. Bunn, I think, started the game. Kabamba came on and got his goal as well. Does it help when you've got a few new players in the squad too?
Yeah, it gives you a lift, because you need to impress in training, and as they do, as well as the ones that have already been there. They want to show what they're good at and their qualities are. So it does give us a lift, because we do need new faces. We need people to challenge each other, and I think that's the main thing that Kilmarnock we've maybe missed as much, as we need to challenge each other. Your place has to be up for grabs, even if you don't play well. So we've got competition now, so we have to make sure that we deliver the people that are on the starting 11, and people that come on are trying to stake their claim in the first team lineup.
And since we last spoke to you, I know you've been on the show a couple of times already this season, but there has been a change of manager. Alex Dyer's got the job. I think last time we could tell that everybody wasn't overly happy, everyone wasn't together at the time. It feels like they are. And on that point, I think Alan's got a question for you.
Chris, hi, you were talking about, about it needed a bit of belief, coming back to the players, from you saying about the previous guy. What's Alex done to change that?
I think if I was to say that the main thing would just be the intensity in training every day. I think the demands, each manager and coach is different. They set out their stall each day in training differently. There's no right or wrong, as you know. So I would say the intensity in training and the demands in training every day, not just some days, has been a massive difference and a massive help in how we got the victory on Saturday. And hopefully that sets us in good stead for the league games ahead.
Chris, when's your contract up?
Next the end of the season.
Well, you know what we're going to do in the Ladbrokes Social Club? We're going to get trending to get you a new contract. We bit of pressure on the Kilmarnock board. 6 assists, you're doing. Get an extension.
I know, it must be a 6-year contract I should get.
Brilliant.
What would that take you to? 42? Still going strong?
Yeah, well,
62.
They do call me sometimes Benjamin Button.
Are you hopeful on that though, in all seriousness, on the deal? Has anything been said? I take it you want to stay on if you can?
Like, I've always expressed that the day I lose enthusiasm and not loving coming into work today, I would hopefully be my decision to retire. Sometimes it's not fortunate enough for your own decision to retire, but hopefully it will be mine. If I look after myself and just love playing football, And the main thing is for me, you know, Kilmarnock have other priorities, so it doesn't. I could be the last in the list because I'm not going anywhere. I'm happy here. I love playing football, so it doesn't really matter. If they want to give me a contract, so be it. So if they don't, I'll still turn up for training next in the pre-season.
You shouldn't do anything for free, mate. Nothing for free. As long as you're still up late playing with
I do this for free.
Well, that's true. I get told this is part of the contract. The boss is over there blushing. Well, listen, maybe we can sort that. Who knows in the future? Did I see you post something as well about wrestling figures up playing late at night?
Yeah, so I got my mates round last night and we were playing the Royal Rumble. So yeah,
wrestling figures. I kid you not. That's why you're so fresh.
Yeah, I know. My mum came round last night and she must have been in the loft and she come round with my old school vintage wrestling figures. So I was delighted.
They think we're kidding, by the way, but it's the truth.
Aye, you should have a wee look. So no, I was delighted when she brought them up. So I'm going to put them on my mantelpiece when I get in.
Good man. Last one. Next game, pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that we had a good victory on Saturday there, so it gives us belief and confidence. And
big game though, isn't it? I mean, I'm kidding obviously, but Celtic at home, huge.
It's probably, I would say, probably more so a massive game for Celtic because they have to keep in the title race. They need the 3 points because obviously the both Old Firm will be looking to not slip up. But we've showed in the past that we can get results against Old Firm at Rugby Park. Again, that gives us belief to think that we can do the same.
Good stuff. Is that the kettle in the background I just heard?
No, somebody's hoovering. Do you know what I am?
Right, listen, I better leave you to it then. Thank you once again for coming on the Ladbrokes Social Club for free.
No problem.
See you later.
See you later.
All the best. All the best.
What a great lad he is.
Wanted to point that out, didn't he? Incredible.
It's the strangest sounding Hoover I've ever heard, to be honest.
No, it was like one of those old singing kettles. Yeah. Have I just turned your screen off completely? I think I've just ruined your screen there. Hold on, see if I can come up. No, I am off it. It's over to you now. I don't know what I've done. Well, we'll try and get that back in a moment. Here we go. We've fired it back up. Excellent. I should never do anything with technology. Just broke that for a moment there. Look, it's a huge game next. I know it's our game of the week, the midweek. He's right. It's a huge game for Celtic as well. Not an easy one either to come back with in league footballing terms.
Yeah, but it's a good one for Celtic because it focuses them.
Yeah.
You know, because they know they've got a real tough game. They've obviously had a few results there over the last year where they've been close, tough games. You know, they'll give anyone a game. Kilmarnock if they're on it, you know, on their own pitch, and it's a tough game, you know, for them. But I still think, you know, Celtic will get a result there.
11-1 for Kilmarnock. Yeah, it's big odds.
It's big odds for a home win.
Odds there.
Because he's right. He's
massive,
said they've beaten the Old Firm there in the last few years. Anyway, I know that the midweek fixtures are part of your treble. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed, Darryl. For anyone that watches, I've been struggling with the forfeits recently, badly. But there's no need to worry about that because this one is coming in, guys. This one is definitely coming in, and you want to get on it.
Do you know what? I love your reviews. I just love it.
You want to get on it, and here it is. Right, first up my treble this week is Wednesday night, Hibs to beat Hamilton at Easter Road. Jack Ross has got Hibs playing some fantastic stuff at the minute, and Christian Doidge, they've got maybe the informed striker in the league with 8 goals in his last 11 games, and they've got the Ladbrokes Premiership Player of the Month in Martin Boyle. Home win for Hibs makes perfect sense. Moving on to Sunday's games, I'm going to take Aberdeen to beat St Mirren away from home in Paisley. Now, it might be a bit of a bold shout, St Mirren have kept it quite tight at home, but outside of the Old Firm, Aberdeen actually have the best away record in the division, winning 4 away games so far. And Dylan McGeoch, they've got a new player who's going to come in and make a big impact as well. Aberdeen to win in Paisley. That's my next choice. Right, and my final choice on this week's treble is Rangers to beat Hearts at Tynecastle. Now, I know Rangers went to Tynecastle and drew 1 each earlier this season, but that almost makes me think that Rangers are going to go there and win. They are chasing down their first title in almost a decade. Steven Gerrard's got them real steel about them. I think they'll go there and win quite comfortably. You put all 3 of those games together, it would normally be 10-3, but the good guys at Ladbrokes have boosted it for you to make it 4-1. We'll put the link out there, get on it, you know what's coming in.
Another pretty bold treble you've gone for there. Rangers to win at Tynecastle. They didn't win there earlier this season.
They didn't win yet earlier this season.
1-1.
Yes, it was 1-1. Yeah,
1-1. Sorry, aye. But that almost emboldens me more, Darryl. They're going to win this time.
Emboldens me, that's brilliant.
Is that a word?
I should say...
I'm going to check that live. It must be. Go on, keep going.
I should say that it would normally be 10-3, the odds for that treble.
It's a great word, that.
4-1 it's up to.
Give the courage or confidence to do something. That's the
go.
great thing of having a computer in front of you when you're live.
Can't believe you
Is
did
this countdown? Are we in countdown? I don't know about
You've
it.
made a few up over the years as well, so there you go. If I'd only had one of these live for you.
That's a 9-letter word.
What was the one I used on Friday night?
Well, that might have been a slip of the tongue. Anyway, midweek fixtures. So you picked one game for the midweek, and the 2 Sunday matches as well. Alan, when you have a look here, I tell you what, there's a few big games for a lot of teams there to come back to as well. I mean, Rangers are at home against St Mirren, clearly big favourites there. Look at that at the bottom though. Ross County Hearts.
Yeah, there's some great games there, really.
You're going to do your normal and pick me a couple of winners?
Yeah.
You're not often right, but...
No. I fancy the Hibs. I fancy Hibs at home.
Yep.
1-2. I would go for... I think I'm going to go for Motherwell.
I was going to say, that's a tough one to call, that game.
Yeah, to beat Aberdeen. Only because of the price.
That's a big shout.
One of your former players, McGeer, was in for Aberdeen at the weekend and starting.
And Celtic. That's my treble.
Right.
Wow.
So you want a treble off me?
Well, if you want.
Yeah.
More than welcome.
I'm going to go for Hibs also. I will go for Livingston, 10-11. It's a good price. And I'll go for a draw, Ross County Hearts.
Do you think Celtic will win at Rugby Park?
I do. I just think they'll probably have too much quality, but it's extremely difficult down here at AstroTurf. And it's, you know, if they can get back to the Steve Clark kind of mould, compact, he was saying the intensity of training, that then becomes a different proposition. Part of the problem you have at the moment is coming back after that layoff, trying to get back up that rhythm again.
Yeah, get your full team out all of a sudden after the cup games. And the weekend fixtures, I know you picked the 2 Sunday games as part of your Talking Boss treble.
Absolutely. And obviously Hearts v Rangers is our Premiership game of the weekend.
I think it's tougher to call this one now, Alan, because of what we've already said on the show, that the fact there's a lot of players coming back now for Hearts. They're going to be a different team, aren't they, than what we've seen before the break? Yeah,
I'm surprised how poor their form's been at home because it's such a difficult place to go to.
Yeah.
But I can see Rangers. I can actually see Rangers having no problems.
Do you know
I really can. I think Rangers are just too strong right now.
People said that last time though, when they went there and Hearts were struggling.
Do you know one of the problems as well? I think the boy Hickey get injured at the weekend as well as Smith.
Michael Smith.
So you know they're 2 key players, and he's put Smith into the middle of the park as well because he's surrounded by young guys. Depending on the extent of that may well be a factor.
On that note as well, whether Porteous and Naismith picked up injuries for Hibs, which would be a blow if those two were out for a while as well, but David Gray came on in the game. Right, Scots down south, I know we talk about this every week, but there's a name that just keeps on coming up right now, and that's John Fleck. He is playing out his skin at the moment, isn't he, guys?
Great goal at the weekend and all. We've spoke about him numerous occasions on the show.
Because he's been that consistent.
Because of his form. We
were ahead of our time, I think.
Yeah, we were. We were shouting, we were banging the John Fleck drum, weren't we?
We were.
For Scotland.
He should really come on the show one week.
Well, why don't we get him? Well, do you know the thing is, in terms of being on the radar? Of course, he's been on the radar. We've recognised what he's doing down there. He's playing at a very good level.
I mean, people more down south.
Yeah.
Now he's picking up the headlines.
Oh, down south. Sorry, down south. No.
Well, he wasn't at the start. It was Lundstrom they were all talking about at the beginning of the season. And now he's the one.
Yeah. So this tweet that Alex referring to, Liberology is a big Arsenal fan Twitter account on social media. If John Fleck wasn't on Arsenal's radar before yesterday's match, he simply has to be now. That's
it's a big accolade, isn't it?
It's big praise, but I think he deserves it. I think he's earned it. And there's been plenty. I feel like every week that goes by, the praise just gets more and more.
He's a big shout, this one.
John Fleck, better than Pogba. Fact.
They've obviously put Pogba into that tweet as well. I'm sure Paul's really happy with that too.
He's certainly having a better season.
He's in Miami now. He's hard backwards getting that.
Really annoyed by it. John Fleck drinks iron brew. He's a Scottish hero on a free from Coventry. How much?
He cost us how much?
We've talked about
obviously. Remarkable, innit, when you think about a free.
I know.
Performing at that
Coventry
level.
fans are wondering how on earth have we let him go.
And just obviously this one from FPL football writer, once heralded Scotland's Wayne Rooney after starting for Rangers, a 15-year-old prodigy. It's been a long road of pressure, expectation and hard graft, but the cream always rises to the top if you have the mentality. John Fleck has reached the top level and he is flourishing.
Good on him.
Summed up perfectly.
Let's hope he continues that form all the way to the next internationals. Maybe he's going to start for Scotland. One other thing from the weekend we noticed up at Pittodrie. There's a new singing section, I think, in there. They had a banner up briefly.
Yeah, so the Red Shed, I believe it's been christened certainly on social media by Don's fans. But the banner that you referred to, Darryl, more income, fuller stands, end the blanket alcohol ban.
It lasted for 30 seconds, as he says there, and then the stewards whipped it away. Can you see this? Alcohol being allowed in Scottish grounds?
I think it's very unlikely, Darryl, and you know, there's been a bit of trouble with certain objects flying onto the pitch. If you started putting alcohol into the mix, even though some of them are intoxicated at the games, I just think it's a recipe
but
for
in England,
disaster.
they have it in so many stadiums, only on the concourses, not out, obviously out the seats. So, but do you think it wouldn't work here, having played in both?
I think it could work, but I don't think it will work until they sort out some of the issues that they've had recently. You know, you can't even begin to have this conversation until the other conversations being addressed in terms of throwing bottles and you know, everything from the stands.
It does seem unlikely right now, given the climate, doesn't it?
In an ideal world, Darryl, you would like to see it, because as you rightly said, you know, when I go down to Sunderland, you see it as well. You go down to all the big grounds, you know, that's part of the match day experience.
Well, that's the point. That is the point. Some people want it. Why should they?
Yeah,
be
no,
denied?
and
that's
I
their point.
totally agree, and you're actually punishing the large majority. So.
And bring tons of money in as well for a lot of clubs as well. Could be.
There would be a wee man if you on the concourse.
No comment.
Right, 1, 2, 3 bet before we go.
1, 2, 3 bet. So we say this every week. Correct.
Correct. One correct score.
You could do it with me correct.
£1 free bet.
Predict 3 correct scores. You get, if you get 1 right, £1 free bet. 2, £5 free bet, and 3, £100 cash. So the games this week. Hull versus Chelsea.
All FA Cup games.
Yep.
Remember the games? I'm going to ask you the scores briefly. Hull City, Chelsea, Saturday night.
Man City, Fulham, and Shrewsbury, Liverpool. Shrewsbury, Liverpool.
Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury.
Easy
There's
for
a
me to
debate
say.
in that itself, by the way.
Shrewsbury it is.
Well, no, it's not. Well,
Shrewsbury.
apparently even the City is split. But anyway, come on. Hull City, Chelsea. Give me the scoreline, please.
3-1 Chelsea.
Okay. Man City, Fulham.
3-1 City.
And Shrewsbury against Liverpool.
4-0 Liverpool.
Anything to chuck in the mix here?
No, I think there'll probably be a bit more. Then he's obviously conservative. I think there'll be more against some of the smaller teams. I think they'll score more goals.
Just to say, Darryl, that is available in store and on the Ladbrokes app.
Excellent. Right, we're very much out of time again. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All of you.
Pleasure.
Enjoyed that again this week. We will see you again next Monday. Is that right? Next Monday?
Absolutely.
Hashtag Ladbrokes Social Club if you want to get
in touch,
involved.
Get involved.
Beautiful. See you then. Bye-bye.